Oh, the Pendolino was a dream.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was. Although there was this woman who was sitting on the way back. She was sitting about 2 seats in front of me and to the left.
Mm-hmm.
And I booked the quiet zone. I'm a big fan of the quiet zone.
Yeah.
Because people are not allowed to use their phones.
Ideally, yeah.
Ideally. And nobody was. It was wonderful. Right. Except this girl got in, and she sat down, and she had a half bottle of wine with her. Which she consumed and munched on these crisps very loud. Right. Yeah. And then she took a phone call on her phone that rang, and she answered the phone. Maria speaking, she said. Yeah. And she was like, "Oh, hello." She was from London. She was obviously coming back to London, right, on a trip. Yeah. And she was like, "Oh, hello. Yeah. Well, what do you mean they haven't arranged the food?" Well. Has Tara spoken to anyone about this?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to phone someone and sort it out. Oh, and she's, and I was sitting there thinking, oh, God, and you could feel the rest of the carriage, the unrest, but nobody would say anything. So she's doing this whole chat, right? And I was memorizing everything she said. So she hung up on Tara. Right. And she was about to phone somebody else. And I went, "Excuse me, Maria."
Well done.
Right?
Well done.
And she looked at me like I was mad. She had no idea. She was like, how do you know my name? I said, "I'm sorry to trouble you, Maria." She said, "Do you mind if you're going to call Tara again to arrange the food? Or maybe you're going to call Steve so he can sort it out for you? Because I appreciate it's the end of the day and you don't want to do enough. Is there any chance you could go and do it in the vestibule? It's just you've walked into the quiet zone and we're not really supposed to be using our phones in here and some people are trying to get some rest."
Yes,
well, she didn't know what had hit her, Tony. I tell you, that was the biggest shock. I mean, because, strangers don't talk to each other in this country.
That's right.
But to know a stranger's name, and she couldn't work out that she'd just been saying all this stuff. So she got up, and as she tutted as she got up and headed for the vestibule. And she went, "Oh, I was just trying to have a conversation," like that, and off she went. And in the process, she knocked her brown bag that she'd bought her wine and her crisps from, into the aisle, and just left it there. And I just thought, I don't know, some people you can just tell. They're the kind of people that are going to use their phones when they shouldn't, and the kind of people that are going to drop litter. I'm Anthony Davis. This is LBC 97.3.